Welcome back to Dr. Fromm's Music Lab. Today we're tackling a deceptively simple progression that causes major headaches in part writing, 4 to 5 in root position. Why? Because it leads to the ultimate voice leading mistake, parallel everything. But don't worry, I'll show you how to fix it with clean, elegant, contrary motion. As usual, I'll show you these in the keys of C major and C minor, which we can then transpose anywhere. In C major, 4 is an F major triad and 5 is a G major triad. In C minor, the 4 chord is F minor, but we'll still raise the leading tone for 5 and have a G major chord. Let's start by looking at the common mistake, all the upper voices moving in the same direction as the bass. Look, it's stepwise in every voice. But if the bass goes up from 4 to 5, and you take the other voices up too, you'll end up with parallel octaves and parallel fifths. It might seem smooth at first, since it's completely stepwise, but it breaks all of the rules of good counterpoint. Now, if you accidentally write this, hopefully these parallel fifths on the bass clef stick out to you. But if we move the voices around, we can have the same set of motions, but the parallels are a little harder to see. The octaves here are between the bass and the soprano, and the fifths are between the bass and the alto. Remember, we have to check for parallels between every pair of voices. So how do we avoid these parallels? We move all of the upper voices in contrary motion against the bass. Contrary motion is always your best friend. So with the bass stepping up from 4 to 5, the other voices must move down. 4 to 2, 6 to 5, and 1 to 7. No parallels and mostly stepwise motion, just one leap of a third. Here it is in C major. And here it is in C minor. This is how you voice a root position 4 to 5 progression in the classical style. And by the way, we can extrapolate this out to any two root position chords whose roots are a step away from each other, like 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 6 to 5. This contrary to bass voice leading will apply to those progressions as well. Now, if instead we're moving from a 4 chord to a 5-7 chord, the motion is nearly identical, but we'll keep the common tone, scale degree 4, in one voice. The other two will still move from 6 to 5 and 1 to 7. We end up with an incomplete 5-7 chord, which is normal and expected. It's also 100% stepwise, which is lovely. Now, surprisingly, 4 to 5 in root position is not a very common progression in the classical style. Composers usually prefer the 2 chord as a predominant because it has smoother voice leading. Or they'll use inversions of 4 and or 5. But that doesn't mean root position 4 to 5 is wrong, just that it needs to be handled carefully. Let's take a look at a Bach chorale example. Right at the beginning, he moves from 4 to 5 in root position, and you'll notice he uses the voicing that I showed you, but he fills in that 4 to 2 leap with a passing tone, making it fully stepwise. Again, contrary motion does all the heavy lifting. And this is a cool example because the very next chord shows what I'm going to cover in my next video, 5 to 5-7. Notice that the soprano steps down after the 5 chord, turning that 5 into a 5-7. It's also echoing the descending passing tone that the tenor just did from 4 to 5. But we'll cover that next time. So the next time you write 4 to 5, don't fall into the parallel everything trap. Let the bass move one way and send everyone else the other way. Contrary motion for the win. And by the way, in traditional Western harmony, root position 4 is very directional. It's a predominant moving towards 5. The reverse, root position 5 moving to a root position 4, is almost unheard of in the traditional style. It's called a retrogression, which is when the harmony is sort of moving in the wrong direction. But we'll save that for another video too. If this helped, make sure to subscribe and check out the rest of my chord by chord series, breaking down progressions one chord at a time. See you next time.